Will Trey Gowdy replace Rod Rosenstein as a Deputy Attorney General? Hi, I'm Craig, and welcome to Just Form Talk. Tonight we're going to get into a few really serious issues. This is pretty much a new thought that's coming from a lot of people out there, and I want to thank all my commenters and subscribers first and foremost, because without you, this channel wouldn't work. But I want to let everyone know that tonight we have a very important story to cover. Now, it's a thought that's been developed through a lot of conversation, research, and heavy in-depth analysis. And I can tell you right now that given all the circumstances, this seems like the logical outcome. My thought, and along with other people that I know very well, and also a lot of you in the comments, because the comments are what make the difference for this channel, because just you hitting subscribe is such a big deal to me, and I think to every patriot in the country. And then, but to have the dialogue and the conversation, I think that's what we're all ultimately always looking for, and I think it's the most important thing to having a rational, logical, well-rounded and balanced conversation about the legitimacy or the delegitimacy of the intel that's coming out in these Q posts. And we have to vet it, and we have to research it, and we have to come together to consider all of the possibilities. Now, let's just go ahead and look over here. This is a former Q post that we've already gone over, but I want to just implicate some implicit ideals that may be behind this. So if you look at this, it says narrative shift, nation alert, firing Rod Rosenstein, blocking Mueller. Firing Rod Rosenstein is set up firing Mueller. Firing Rod Rosenstein is the red line. What was the Senate confirmation vote on Rod Rosenstein? As I said before, it was around 94 to 6. And why did Rod Rosenstein beg Ryan to block the FISA memo from congressional review for their advancement? Real time, the 7 congressional members, the 3 senators, and the 2 former Obama senior officials, and the 4 outside contractors with no clearance, no classified, top secret, or sensitive level clearance are at a SCIF at the D.C. Capitol. It says, top secret clearance is mandatory for admission, and how is that possible? We see you Q. Now, obviously, there's a lot of implications that can be drawn from this, but I think one of the things that stood out to me as a thought is looking at what is happening today. There's a lot of resignations, and Q, in his former post, if we just scroll up a little bit, talked about how we really need to pay attention and look at what's actually happening. Now, if you want to read something very fascinating, I'm gonna pull up this former Q post. It says, "Read slowly and carefully. Will become critically important in coming weeks. Continue to track those who are resigning across all platforms. Where there was once darkness, there will now be light." That's a fascinating thought, especially when you combine it with the fact that there is an immense amount of people who are speculating at this point that Trey Gowdy will not be seeking re-election, that Trey Gowdy will be trying to move back toward Justice Department, and Trey Gowdy is actually trying to change his path as far as a career goes and get more involved back with the Justice Department as he was a former prosecutor. Now, it brings us all the way back to this, where the firing of Rod Rosenstein seems imminent, according to Q, if you follow the post close enough. And with that thought in mind, I don't know how it would not be received well to think that having Trey Gowdy replace Andrew McCabe as the Rod Rosenstein as the Deputy Attorney General will be an amazing thing, because the fact is, for whatever reason or the other, Jeff Sessions has decided to recuse himself from the Russia investigation, quote unquote. Now it's amazing how broad the Russia investigation is, and how many things that withdraws the ability for Jeff Sessions to overview. So my thought is basically this. We have one of two options. We're going to have to go out and find somebody to be this gatekeeper. And by gatekeeper, I mean that it's been pointed out that Rod Rosenstein is the only person who can challenge the president's mandate to fire Robert Mueller. And I do believe that it's something to be considered if you look at the facts that the Mueller investigation has been obviously corrupted. It's been tainted. It's been infiltrated. It's been subverted, however you want to put it. And I think that that's very well documented if you actually take the time to do the research. So taking that into account and then combining that with the fact that Rod Rosenstein can actually step in to block the firing of Mueller if Trump so decides to, I think it's very fair to come to the conclusion that the president's going to look at other options. Now, what are those other options? Obviously, option 2 is firing Rod Rosenstein and replacing him with somebody who will execute the duty of the offices faithfully and without bias, as we have seen Rod Rosenstein and all of his cronies are explicitly guilty of doing. So let's go ahead and just examine that for a second. I would love to hear what you guys have to think, or what you guys have to say, I should say, about this. In the comments section, please contribute. It's a big deal for me. And, you know, there's a lot of Trump hysteria out there. And I just want to cut to a quick InfoWars article talking about these awful people in San Diego who literally have Trump derangement syndrome. And this is their idea of freedom of speech. And it's fine. They're all entitled to it. But it's childish. I think that it's useless. It's futile. It doesn't solve any issues. It doesn't create a dialogue. It doesn't forward a new narrative or a new thought. All it does is promote hate. It promotes violence, and they'll eventually run out of shoes. And that is just awful in and of itself, because that's when, as we know, they usually start picking up other arms and using other tactics. And today I just want to cover real quickly the train story. So train-carrying Republican lawmakers hits a truck in Virginia, and there is one person dead. Now, that in and of itself is pretty awful, and we pray for all of those involved. We pray for the family of those who have passed. But let's be honest. This needs a further investigation. Right after the State of the Union, you have a dump truck literally pulling itself in front of a train that's carrying all of the GOP top congressional members to a retreat. And they're traveling through Virginia at the time, I believe, and on their way to West Virginia. This is scary. I don't know the full details of this, and as they come out, we'll cover that. But I think as a collective, it is very much worthwhile to ask the question: are there people involved in this who were purposefully seeking to harm members of our congressional body, and maybe even send a message to those in the Congress that they're not untouchable? And I think that's scary in and of itself. So we need to focus on this. We need to fight it. We need to fight it by exposing it, and we need to stay on the a straight and narrow when it comes to following these crazy events that, I mean, as Alex Jones has stated recently, could only be best described as living in the Twilight Zone, where you have sitting congressional members who are offended by things like police and military and the United States and patriotism and church and God. It is really something to be seen. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching. We'll have to do more research into this. This is a very scary and deeply troubling story. We need to watch it further and see how this all turns out. Obviously, we pray for the families of those involved, and we pray for safe and healthy recoveries. But let's just go ahead and say that there is a lot more to this story than may at first meet the eye. So let's go ahead and just do our due diligence, do our research. We will eventually uncover this scandal if there is one there, and if not, then we will uncover that as well. I just want to say thank you for watching. My name is Craig. This is Just Informed Talk, and I want God to be with every single one of you. I want you all to take that with you, and I want you to hold it in your hearts and hold Him on high. God is going to be the eternal salvation for everyone, whether you are a Christian or not. You are entitled to God's love as long as you open your heart to it. That will be the saving grace for our whole country, I believe. And as President Trump said, the motto of our country is "In God We Trust," and we need to get closer to that, not further away. So, signing off, I'm Craig. This is Just Informed Talk. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a wonderful night. God bless and Godspeed.